ahead and get started on filling the raised bed. Like I told you, you start with cardboard at the bottom. I have my landscape fabric, old, new landscape fabric on top of old landscape fabric. So it's like I'm doubling up to make sure that no weeds gets in or any grass grows up underneath. And then I'm going to place my cardboard. After the cardboard, whatever wood that I have, and garden material, garden waste. And then after the garden waste, I have leaves. I have bags of leaves that I've raked and collected throughout fall. And after that, you go with compost, and the top layer will be your good, rich garden bed soil that you're going to, you know, that's your growing medium for the top layer. Your good, rich soil at the top. But it's going to be layers, so I'm going to get to work on that. I have so much cardboard, you wouldn't believe. I've been collecting it all, all season long. So let me get started on that. I just wanted to show you that this is the forever home. Okay, I have my leaves ready. But the next step, I'm going to tell you what. When you add this material to the bottom of a raised bed, I had the experience with the um, the L-shaped one. You think you're putting too much, but once it begins to settle in, okay, once it begins to settle in, you will see the difference. Because I remember filling that raised bed with lots of material, lots of cardboard at the bottom that I had collected. Um, Actually, it was more paper towel rolls than this. This is more boxes. I have boxes this time. Things that was delivered during the holidays and just so on and so forth. Lots of cardboard. Um, then garden waste. And then I had a whole 32-gallon compost bin full of my own compost. That was great. Filled it almost completely to the top. And then the top layer, I put that, like I said, the 10 to 12 inches of raised garden bed um, soil. But once it begins to settle in, it goes down, it compresses. So make sure that you have enough, that you're filling it up. So the cardboard is going to fill up some space. The next layer is going to be some garden waste. I have plenty of it. I'm going to put in the garden waste. See, that's good, rich material that's going to decompose over time. That's just organic. It's organic material that's going to decompose over time. That's what you want. And the cardboard, that's going to break down and disintegrate. So I'm going to go ahead and get my garden waste. That's the next layer. And then after that, the leaves. So let me get started. Okay, I am halfway done with the process of filling the raised bed. I had the cardboard first and then the garden waste, which is basically old sticks and old plants that had died out, but it's rich organic material that's going to decompose over time, and it's at the bottom of the bed. And then leaves. So I've added a layer of leaves, and also I've been watering it. I've been wetting everything down because, like I said, to help it decompose and also to weight it down. Because once you start filling it, you think you're placing a lot of material in here, but once it begins to settle in, you will see exactly how much is actually in there because it becomes compacted. So to wet that cardboard, because you can see it was dry cardboard that I put in there, to wet the cardboard, also to wet the garden waste that I put in there, and now the leaves to kind of weigh it down. And then I'm going to add more layers. Another layer of leaves. I have plenty of leaves. And another layer of compost, and then the final layer being my raised garden bed soil, which that'll be the last thing I do. But I want to make sure this time I'm doing it differently than I did when I raised the first, when I assembled the first raised bed over here. When I assembled this bed, I knew that I could have used more material. I could have placed more material in there, let it settle in first, and then add the topsoil that I was going to grow in. I mean, you're growing in the entire raised bed, especially if you're going to put potatoes in here. If you're going to put potatoes, any type of root vegetable, know that you need to have a deeper layer of compost and garden bed soil, because they're root vegetables and they're going to go down deep. So, having said that, I know that I could have put a lot more filler in this bed and a lot more garden bed soil on the top. But you learn from your errors, and I wouldn't even call it an error. I followed the rules. It's just that I could have done more. I was trying to be conservative with it because I'm so used to growing in just regular soil, just having a container full of, or a planter full of soil. So having all that filler in the bottom was new to me. So I know now that it can stand to have a lot more filler. And then you have that layer of leaves. I like having those layer of leaves between the filler in the bottom and your good rich compost, whether it be your homemade compost or compost that you purchased at the store. It is rich with nutrients. And then that top layer of your good soil and fertilizer. It's just the perfect conditions for plants to grow. So I'm letting the water kind of just soak in there. And then I'm going to add another layer of leaves. And if not today, definitely tomorrow, I will be adding the compost. I may not have time to do it today, but I just want to show you guys how far I got. I may have to sign off in a little bit. Okay, you guys, one last shot of the raised garden bed before I sign off. Isn't it lovely? I am very pleased. I love it. Beautiful. I have filled it with cardboard. I filled it with garden waste and plants, like decaying plants, old plants that had died out, old decaying leaves. That's all rich organic material. And then I came on top of that with dried leaves that I raked up and bagged for this purpose, just to act as filler in my raised bed. And the next layer is actually compost and used soil. This is used soil that I used over there in the cabbage patch when I grew my cabbages this fall and my broccoli. I used that used soil over there. And as you can see, I packed it down. Remember I told you that it may look like I have a lot in there because the leaves were brimming over to the top, but guess what? Not so much. Once it settles down and it gets packed down, you will see that line where the soil line decrease, okay? So I have plenty of room now. I feel like the way I have it packed in there, I have plenty of room to put a nice thick layer of good rich soil, fresh soil. Like I said, this what you see here is compost and used soil. And it smells good, it smells fresh. Everything that I placed in here smelled like what I grew. Okay? The soil from the broccoli smelled like broccoli, fresh. The soil from the cabbages smelled of cabbages. It smelled like fresh plants. I try not to use anything that is rotten or that's not good, or you can smell that it's rancid. Okay, this is all fresh material. I could smell it, even though it's organic and it's breaking down. It is fresh. So I just wanted to give you one last look before I sign off, and then of course I'll come back and show you when I completely finish and I add the fresh soil. That'll be another video for another day, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, you guys, I'm about to sign off. Can you believe it? I did it. Finally. There she is. My raised bed, my new raised bed. Thank you, Vegega. This is the 17-inch. This is the 9-in-1. This is the configuration that I chose, which is the 8 feet by 2 feet. Okay, the color is Reseda green. I filled it to capacity. The next layer is going to be nice, fresh soil so I can start planting. Okay, I can't wait for spring, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me on the journey today. I appreciate you. Thank you to my new subscribers. Hi. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now. Good morning. Excuse my appearance. I have been working all morning. I started early because I think there's supposed to be rain. There was something else I wanted done, and I finally got around to it. That pool is no longer. That pool had been there for a while, and I've been wanting to take it down, dismantle it, and put it at the street so it can be collected by the garbage collector. It's gone, and it took some doing, okay? I am filthy dirty, but I was prepared for that. I am dressed appropriately, okay? Because the pool was just filled with yuck, okay? But I was able to dismantle it and take it to the street. A little bit at a time, but I did it. It's accomplished. Now, filling my raised bed. This is the, you know what? Sometimes you got to go through the hard stuff to get to the good stuff, okay? And I consider that's the part that I didn't really want to deal with. This is the joy. Filling my raised bed so I can grow my own food. So I've been working on that after I took me a little break. So, and I'm doing it a little at a time. Easy. I hope you guys can hear me. I'll tell you what I put in here first. Yesterday, before I signed off, I told you that I had a new potting soil. I had some new potting soil that also had peat moss and perlite, vermiculite. It was already some container mix that I had ready to go because I was filling 2 of these grow bags. One of the grow bags, a 20-gallon grow bag, had spinach. I dropped spinach seeds in that one, And in the other grow bag, 10 gallon, I had some seed potatoes. I forgot that they were even in there. I had some seed potatoes, so I dropped those seed potatoes in another grow bag. But I had that leftover soil, brand new soil, wasn't repurposed or reused soil, so it was fresh soil. And this is the layer that is supposed to be the new soil. I have old soil and I have compost underneath, and now I'm adding fresh soil that will be amended with various nutrients, bone meal, blood meal, even earthworm castings, it depends. But there's something else that I added. Okay, first of all, this is brand new potting soil. Okay, there's vermiculite and perlite in here too. There's a layer of that. But let me show you something that I found that I added. Okay, gotta go get it. So you guys sit tight. Okay, you guys, this is it. This is what's new in the Good Joy Garden. I've been using peat humus. Okay, it's organic material, all natural organic material. It's a soil conditioner. So I found these. They don't cost much, about as much as you would pay for the brand of composted cow manure that I get, or even topsoil. But this is a soil conditioner, peat humus. Okay, so I've added this. As much organic material that you can add to your raised bed or to your containers it's a good thing. Okay, so, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this. Okay, but I just wanted to show you quickly. This is what's new in the Joy Garden. I've been using this. So in this raised bed, I have used the peat humus. Okay, I also have a good potting mix. Okay, and my perlite, vermiculite, and then I'm going to, and more peat moss. Mix it all up and then amend it with a very good fertilizer, a slow release fertilizer, something like a plant tone or garden tone, tomato tone. I know some people use tomato tone on everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just good fertilizer. It's a slow release fertilizer. So, and also you can use bone meal, blood meal, earthworm castings. I have decided right now to hold off on using any composted cow manure. It's just because sometimes some things that you're growing, they don't really mix well with manure. So to start off my raised bed, I didn't want to risk it by adding manure to the raised bed. Now, if I use it in something separate, like a tote or a container or a planter, for something specific that I'm planting, but I didn't want to place it in the entire raised bed. I'd rather leave it out just in case. And in place of manure, you can use earthworm castings for sure. You can use earthworm castings. So I'm going to go ahead and get started mixing it. So I've added more of the potting mix. We have the humus, the peat humus, the perlite, vermiculite, and I'm going to go and get the fertilizer and mix that in as well. So let me get started, you guys. I wanted to try this premium moisture potting mix, okay, Pro Mix. So I do have a package of that, and I may add that into the top layer also. So I have it over here in the wheelbarrow. Let's see what we have going on first. I've added my all-purpose fertilizer, and I'm going to get in here and start mixing. I have to go get my tool, my little hand tool, and I'm going to start mixing it around real good and see if I need any more soil. But I'm going to start with what I have first and then add any more, okay? Okay, here we go. This is it, you guys. It's completely filled. If I feel like I need more, and like I said before, you can fill it and you think you have it completely filled to the top, but it will settle in, and you'll see where you may need a little more on top. So I do have that Pro Mix soil that I would like to give that a try, so I might add that to the top of it. But here we are. I am very happy with this, and I think that is going to be really good, rich soil. I've used a really good all-purpose fertilizer. I'm probably going to come in with some more bone meal and blood meal, earthworm castings, you never know. But just what I have here is absolutely perfect. Okay. But I do believe I will add another layer of that soil, that Pro Mix. Okay. We have the top layer is a good potting soil. Then I use the peat humus, perlite, vermiculite, a little more peat moss, and some more compost. It's the compost was that layer that was right underneath it. So basically when I started mixing it with a tool and by hand, that compost that was underneath, of course, is going to get mixed in with the top layer. And that's perfectly fine, because that's good, rich, organic material also. Okay? I think it looks really good. The weather is holding up perfectly. The clouds are rolling away, and I see the sun is poking his little head out. So I have some good weather to work with today. I thought it was going to stay yucky and wet all day long, and that's no fun. But let's see. A lot of gardeners like this Pro Mix, and it's compressed. It's a compressed pack. I want to say it's 1 cubic feet of the potting mix, but it's compressed into this little square. So this is supposed to be this is 2 cubic feet. So I'm thinking of adding just a little more to the top. And I completely filled the new raised bed, amended the soil with good rich fertilizer and nutrients. It is now ready to start planting. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. I had a little trouble with the garden hose. I am sopping wet. Okay. So look like I'm going to be heading out to find a new garden hose. When I tell you I'm wet, soaking wet, the garden hose attacked me. Okay, me and Bruce Lee are drenched. Okay, I gotta go inside and get out of these wet clothes. And then I'm gonna order some DoorDash. Man, I've had what a day I've had. This is just the beginning. Okay? Bye night. Okay, everyone. I just wanted to show you what Natalie accomplished today. I moved the old pool that was here. It's now at the street.